Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thermaltake eSports Challenge. $3,000 on the line for this one, so it is quite the tournament. I bring you from Team 6 Jacks, the one and only DDE. He is in the blue trunks and he is playing Terran to the top right of the Shakuras Plateau versus his opponent from Team Vile. It's Spanishiwa in the yellow trunks. He is playing Zerg to the southwest. This should be an interesting matchup. DDE has been rising in popularity and prominence lately, particularly after a recent stellar win, I might add, against the one and only Idra. Very, very competent, considered to be one of the heavy hitters of Team 6 Jacks, which is, of course, led by Artosis, as you might be aware. And Spanishiwa, on the other hand, has been growing in popularity simply because of his very unusual style. Spanishiwa's style is based around not getting gas until absolutely necessary. He relies primarily on spine crawlers early on, as well as a large number of queens. He tends to expand on around... Well, it depends who he's going up against. If he goes up against Protoss on certain maps, he'll actually go for a hatchery on 13 supply. In this case, you can see he's going for something a little bit later since he's going up against Terran. Makes perfect sense. And we see that DDE is actually going to open up with a barracks at the bottom right here. Two possibilities for that. Either wants to get slightly more aggressive early on, or he's looking to try and wall this area off so he can take a fast expansion. We'll find out one way or the other as we go along. Spanishiwa still with no gas, which is to be expected. He's going to be going for an expansion on 16, as I said he would, bearing in mind that he's up against Terran. Again, if he's up against Protoss, he'll actually go for an earlier expand build, and usually that's to stop his expansion from being blocked off, but it depends on the map. Sometimes you just can't stop it. It's a double barracks opening right here from DDE, so as I said, a highly aggressive start, and that also decreases the distance slightly between the two bases, so he's going to be able to get Marines over there much, much quicker, and this is a very easy build into an expansion since he's took no gas whatsoever, so it'll be that aggressive Marine opening to cover that one. Spanishiwa will scout that one, as you can very clearly see right there, and throws down a spawning pool as well. Now, Spanishiwa actually taking an early gas, which is kind of unusual, but I have to imagine that's simply because of the two barracks opening right there. Going to be looking perhaps to get some earlier speedlings, maybe Roach, and of course looking to get through to the lair tech. Spanishiwa is known for holding off his gas until something absurd like 40 supply. He's not doing this right now, and I have to assume that that was directly reactive to what his opponent was looking to do right there. So Marines streaming across the map, and Spanishiwa with a little bit of map control. He should be able to see this Marine coming, although he did actually end up missing that one. Initial Marine coming in right there, and Spanishiwa actually pulling a lot of drones off the line, and he's doing this to make sure that he can delay this potential bunker pressure that's coming in right here from DDE, who loses the Marine. Very nice defense there by Spanishiwa, and if we have a look at it, he's only a couple of drones behind, so that's not too bad at all, and it was to be expected to be drones behind anyway, considering his early expansion. So I'm not too worried about that for Spanishiwa, and he's able to deny the bunker play. He's already done good damage to this SCV, so if bunker comes in again, he should be able to deal with that no problem at all. And there's that expansion for DDE, as you can clearly see right there. Still no gas. He's going to pick it up right now. He's looking for one. He may pick up a second. We'll find out. And if he picks up a second, of course, he might be looking to do something a little bit more than just Marine play. We'll find out. And DDE pushing forward right here with an SCV, looking for it. And Spanishiwa needs to get this around. He's actually going for early speedling, which is not the typical Spanishiwa style at all. I feel that he thinks he needs it. He wants to try and take that SCV out if he can. Have a little bit of a nibble. He takes it down quite nicely. Good micro right here by Spanishiwa. However, he is outgunned. Will he be able to deal with this? He actually might. He's picking it up very, very nicely right there. Look at that. He doesn't even have the speed upgrade, and he annihilates the Marines of DDE very easily indeed. The speedling upgrade is following up right here, and now suddenly he has a massive army advantage, and he's also looking to take real map control. It's forcing a complete wall-off right here from DDE, and that, of course, is handing wonderful map control to Spanishiwa, who can do all sorts of things with that. And there's the Marine. Spanishiwa can't really do a lot of damage here, so surely I'd expect him to get away any moment. However, he could actually break his way through here if he thinks he's got the firepower for it. He takes out two. He loses a lot of Zerglings in the process, so I think that wasn't perhaps quite worthwhile, but he has reduced the defense here significantly. And now Spanishiwa actually getting his queens, which is very, very late for him. I have to assume that that's to react to the 2 barracks pressure early on from DDE. Either that or all my knowledge of Spanishiwa is now irrelevant because he suddenly decided to play more standard. That would be very, very upsetting, actually, but there you go, never mind. His micromanagement on the Zerglings was exceptional right there, as you can very clearly see. DDE, what you up to right now? Still 3 barracks right here. He's not actually building anything from those barracks just yet. He does have a factory coming up, and 2 gas right here, but nice bit of scouting here by Spanishiwa. Is going to see that very, very easily, and I wonder what kind of information he'll really gain from that. And DDE now finally pulling those Marines off the line. If he heads towards the gas, which is what I assume he's going to do, should be able to get to the gas, I would think, before he gets killed. Can he see it? Will he get the sight range? No, he doesn't. So nice pick off there by DDE. He did have 8 Marines on the ground, so there you go. Starpot coming in right here as well. There's the stim on the tech lab, and we're looking for a layer upgrade from Spanishiwa now at this point. If we have a look at the economic situation, you can very clearly see that Spanishiwa actually has a pretty nice amount coming in. He doesn't have a lead. He's got 31 drones to 32 SCVs at the moment, but he is sitting on a good amount of map control. He's knocking down those destructible rocks as well, perhaps looking to take a third at the back right here. I'm going to see as to what exactly comes up right now. This could be a swap around, but he's actually building a siege tank, so it's evidently not. I was thinking maybe it might be a bit of Banshee play, but it's not going to end up being that at all. I don't blame anyone for not going Banshees against Spanishiwa, who has a tendency to build a lot of Queens, although he is playing very, very standard in this particular game. Bainling Nest on the way up for Spanishiwa as well. There's the layer upgrade, and DDE with his first tank. Nothing to really worry about for Spanishiwa just yet. Playing very defensively, not looking to push out yet. Still relying on those barracks primarily. He does have 2 more refineries coming in, so he'll be looking to get a tech-heavier build at some point, since the engineering bay is coming up as well. And first drop on the way, and this might actually get seen by Spanishiwa. Oh, it will. Very, very nice placement of this Zergling right here. He gets scouting information. The question is, how is he going to react to this? And this drop's going to come into the main by the looks of it. Spanishiwa currently sitting on a very small number of Zerglings. He doesn't have what he needs to actually repulse this, and I have to wonder if he saw that drop coming. Surely he did. No map control here either. That could be an error from Spanishiwa, and surely he will see it this time as it passes over not only the Zerglings but the Overlords as well. The response from Spanishiwa is looking a little dodgy right now. He's going to need a few Zerglings in order to actually clean this up. Those Queens probably won't be enough, even if he pulls all 3. And no Spine Crawlers. This is very unlike Spanishiwa. And DDE pushing forward with a nice drop right here. Picks up an Overlord for free. Looks for another. Should be able to take it quite nicely. And there's a supply block there on Spanishiwa. And that's going to cause him a few problems for the time being. Speaking of causing a few problems, my mouse is going ballistic. There you go. Another drop, and DDE picking off those Overlords quite nicely. Oh, so well timed on the speed. Look at that. 4 HP. Very nicely done by Spanishiwa. Evidently not timing that deliberately, but it was kind of cool nonetheless. Now a massive drone pull-off right here. He needs Zerglings in there almost immediately, and going for the Spire upgrade as well for Spanishiwa. So very standard kind of Zergling, Bainling, and Mutalisk play here. Couple of Overlords moving around, trying to get some scouting information, and DDE pushed away from the time being, but he's not going to be licked quite yet. Needs to get a good surround. We've got some Bainlings in the mix as well, and a very quick pick up and go, and the Queen's not quite able to finish it off. So DDE actually gets out of there doing significant damage and actually taking very little in return. He lost a single Marine, so that was a very effective piece of harassment right there. And you'll also notice that DDE is ahead in SCV count, so it's looking very good for him. Spanishiwa actually takes his 3rd right there, but there has been a drop, as you can see. And while he was dropping down there, he was also dropping up here. Some damage done. He wasn't able to kill the hatchery, however, so it wasn't all that important. But he is able to snipe off a couple of Zerglings. Quick pick up and go will be nice right there, but he's looking for the surround, so I'm not too worried. He picks it up, no problem at all. And that's actually a fast 4th right there as well. And in comes DDE once again, and this is the force that came in last time. As you'll notice, they do have stim. They've got +1 weapon upgrade as well. Spanishiwa looks for the surround and doesn't have the upgrades, and that's a very nice piece of positioning right there by DDE. Exceptional stuff, using the Marines and the minerals to create an artificial choke point, and now working on this hatchery. There is a Queen on its way up. There are drones coming in, and those Marines were quite badly injured, so there is a possibility he can get in there and do some real damage. Once again charging in, but it's a reasonable little blockade that DDE's got going there. Loses a medevac in the process, but is able to get out of there quite easily. So the question is, what is Spanishiwa's counterattack really going to be? It's going to be a massive Mutalisk play by the looks of it. Another freebie there for DDE, so he's not too worried. And this hatchery is actually very badly injured. DDE probably can't take it without another dropship's worth of troops, but still, that's quite dangerous. Spanishiwa now looking for a cleanup right here with the Mutas. Should be able to do that. He's got the numbers for it, certainly. Once again, he goes for it, and Spanishiwa with 4 queens up at the moment right now, which is not a huge number considering the amount of bases he's got. Nice, easy cleanup, but he does lose a queen in the process, which is hardly ideal. He would like to take that out, and he can with the Mutalisk, so he's not too worried about that. And that dropship also annihilated after a little bit of damage done right there to that hatchery, so nothing really to worry about there either. Nice quick pickup right there by Spanishiwa, able to clean it up quite nicely. And now we're looking for a situation where Spanishiwa will look to get great control with those Mutalisks. Does he have the number for it? He does have a reasonable number indeed, but he's not going for +1 upgrade. Again, this is totally unlike him. It really, really is. But hey, it seems to be working reasonably well for the time being, although DDE is doing a reasonable job of suppressing him. Big attacks coming in right now by Spanishiwa, and looking to finish off the missile turret, as he does quite nicely, and delays the building of the command center, which is even better. DDE getting hyper-aggressive on this 4th right here, which is going to end up being very, very messy. Spanishiwa needs to get his forces in there immediately to deal with it, but with that many tanks, I don't think it's going to work. He loses 2 mutas. Very, very lacking in micro there. It's not the Spanishiwa we know and love, is it? Spanishiwa now getting his 4th taken away from him very easily. DDE clears it out without any problems whatsoever. And this base is incredibly weak as well. That could be sniped off very easily by an aggressive drop. Looking for a surround right there with these Mutalisks, trying to get a magic box right here, but it's not going to happen. He's not doing any real damage. He's able to take out a siege tank, but he takes fire on the Mutas, and still no upgrades for the Mutalisks either, so it's not looking all that great. Looks for the surround now with the Banelings and the Zerglings. Can he get into a good position right there? There's the Baneling detonation. It was relatively ineffective, and DDE holds this quite nicely. Couple of borrowed Banelings, very sneaky little bastards right there in the bottom. And Spanishiwa once again trying to push this away. And these are mobile tanks. This is risky right here for DDE. This could be a good catch. And unfortunately, it looks like Spanishiwa's going to lose a lot of units when he goes in here. He threw away Zerglings, and now his Mutalisk count has been devastated. And DDE with a large tank count rolling across the map. He's on 7 tanks right now. He's got 2 Thors on the way out as well. And Spanishiwa, as far as I'm concerned, is falling way behind. His worker supply count is looking terrible. 57 drones to 76 SCVs. Admittedly, I think DDE has actually vastly overdone the SCVs since he's only on 2 bases and he's only just started his 3rd, but whatever. It works. He's got an economic advantage. And DDE pushing forward once again, looking for big damage. The question is, will he be able to find it? A quick scan, eliminating that creep spread. Also, not all that amazing for Spanishiwa right now. And his maneuverability is severely compromised. Mutalisk charging into the line of tanks, and the question is, will he be able to do any real damage? He takes 1, but that's about it. And the Mutalisk flock looking severely depleted right now. Not what you want to see. Not at all. Spanishiwa is flagging badly in this particular encounter, and that hatchery is very, very weak. Just a couple of salvos should be able to take it out very, very easily. Here comes the shelling under 400 HP and falling rapidly, and Spanishiwa trying to defend against this, but his forces are scattered all over the map, and the army supply count tells a very, very ugly story. 89 to 34 right now as the Mutas come in and get taken out by the Thors. DDE dominating Spanishiwa at this point in time, and we're not really seeing all that trademark inventiveness, and there's the GG, as you can see. And Spanishiwa plays a standard straight-up game, and DDE flattens him in the first in this best of 3 series.